And Tommy Motolla is a devil.
Respect! What's wrong, Michael?
I don't know if I should tell you this, but I don't know who may be listening. There may be a group of people that want to get rid of me. They don't want me here anymore.
I don't understand. What do you mean? Talk to me.
I can't talk about it over the phone. I don't know what's going to happen, but I just feel in my soul, only God knows, they could shoot me. They could stab me. They could frame me and say I overdosed you on drugs. They can do a lot of things.
Who could do these things?
It's not the government. It's more than the government. But I don't know, Tita. I don't care. They can take me. I don't even care my life anymore. I just want my children to be okay. My angels. I want them to be safe.
Michael.
I gotta go.
Sadly, we live in a state of fear. Every day we hear of war on the news, on the radio, and television. In the newspapers, always of war. We hear of nations hurting each other, of neighbors hurting each other, of families hurting each other, and of children killing each other. We must learn to live and love each other before it's too late. We have to stop. We have to stop the prejudice. We have to stop the hating. We have to stop living in fear of our own neighbors. I would like all of you now to take the hand of the person to the left and to the right of you. Go ahead, right now. I mean it. Don't be shy. Do it. It starts now. To the person next to you, to the left and the right. I mean it right now. Go ahead. Don't be shy. Do it. Do it. Now tell the person next to you that you care for them. Tell them that you love them. This is what makes the difference. Together, we can make a change in the world. Together, we can help to stop racism. Together, we can help to stop prejudice. We can help the world live without fear. It is our only hope. And without hope, we are lost. But I would never stop helping and loving people the way Jesus said to. He said, continue to love. Always love. Bring on the children. Imitate the children. Not childish, but childlike.
Our children are the most beautiful, most sweet, most treasured of our creations. And yet, every minute, at least 28 children die. Today, our children are at risk of being killed by diseases and by the violence of war, guns, abuse, and neglect. Children have few rights and no one to speak for them. They have no voice in our world. God and nature have blessed me with a voice. Now I want to use it to help children speak for themselves. I have founded the Heal the World Foundation to be the voice of the voiceless, the children. Please join with me and the children to help heal the world together. Parents, communities, governments, all people of the world, we must put our children first. Finally, and most importantly, I want to tell the children of the world, you are all our children. Each one of you is my child, and I love you all. Thank you very much.
What's wrong, Michael?
I don't know if I should tell you this, but I don't know who may be listening. There may be a group of people. They want to get rid of me. They don't want me here anymore.
I don't understand. What do you mean? Talk to me.
I can't talk about it over the phone. I don't know what's going to happen, but I just feel in my soul, only God knows, they could shoot me. They could stab me. They could frame me and say I overdosed you with drugs. They can do a lot of things.
Who could do these things?
It's not the government. It's more than the government. But I don't know today. I don't care. They can take me. I don't even care my life anymore. I just want my children to be okay. My angels. I want them to be safe.
Michael.
I gotta go.
And Tommy Motolla is a devil.
Imagine a world where power in the music industry is not just about popularity, but a labyrinth of intrigue, betrayal, and boundless ambition. Behind the glittering lights of major performances and chart-topping hits lie dark stories that rarely come to light. We know P. Diddy as one of the biggest figures in entertainment, but there's another man, quieter, more secretive, and rumored to be even more frightening, Tommy Motolla. His name may not be as well known to the general public as Diddy's, but to those familiar with the industry, he's a mysterious and controversial figure. The question we'll answer in this video is Tommy Motolla really more ruthless than P. Diddy? Is Motolla simply a highly ambitious professional, or a cold and heartless ruler of the music world? Let's peel back the layers of this mystery, one by one. Tommy Motolla, often called one of the godfathers of the music industry, has long been a figure both respected and feared. His name is associated with the rise and fall of many stars, including big names like Mariah Carey and Michael Jackson. But who exactly is Tommy Motolla? Is he really an untouchable ruler, or just a master player in the capitalist music industry? On the other hand, P. Diddy, known as a music producer, rapper, and successful entrepreneur, has long been in the media spotlight for his glamorous lifestyle and controversies. Diddy's name frequently makes headlines, whether for scandals, feuds, or his stunning achievements. But when comparing these two figures, who is more dangerous? Who has had the most impact on the lives of the artists in their shadow?
Throughout the years, black artists have been taken advantage of. Record companies really do conspire against their artists. They steal, they cheat, they do whatever they can, especially the black artists. Sony, Tommy Motolla. Tommy Motolla is the president of the record division. He is a mean, he's a racist, and he's very devilish. We must put an end to this racism. Racism is bad. Tommy Motolla made some very racist remarks. But what he said was to one of the artists who work at Sony. He has a contract with the company. And he called him a fat black nigger.
Are we blind to the fact that our children are raging against the indifference, crying out against the abandonment, of thundering against the neglect? Heal the Kids is about doing something about making a difference and trying to help adults and parents realize that it is our power to change the world that our children live in. Who among us would have believed that the sound of children at their playgrounds would be replaced by the sound of automatic machine gun fire at our schools? That the sound of little girls skipping rope would be overshadowed by the frantic shrills of children dodging bullets? Yet, instead of loving our children more, we installed metal detectors in our school.
And Tommy Motolla is a devil.
Rolling Stone did this huge article on Tommy Motolla and Jeffrey Epstein, and they start referencing how there was a problem that Tommy Motolla was having after being kicked out with his wife from a Palm Beach hotel and spa. According to the Rolling Stone, one of the emails that I went over the other day actually have something to do with the situation of Tommy and his wife being kicked out of this hotel spa. Now, we don't know specifically what happened with Tommy Motolla and his wife at this spa for them to get kicked out, but if you know Jeffrey Epstein and the saga, it's really odd because he was known to pick up victims at spas like this. And for whatever reason, Tommy Motolla felt the person that could help him with the situation that he was having was Epstein. There is a whole rabbit hole behind a lawyer that they talk about in this email. So Jeffrey Epstein tells Tommy Motolla to call him again, and Tommy Motolla said, "I'm telling someone my older sister is sick and I came home." And then Jeffrey said, "Look up Bradley Edwards." And Tommy Motolla says, "Is this the lawyer that she hired?" And then Epstein says, "Cousin." When I saw the name Brad Edwards, I was kind of shook because I know that this is a lawyer that represents so many survivors of Epstein. And remember, I found the old articles that said that Brad Edwards wanted to depose some of Epstein's famous friends, one being Tommy Motolla, back in 2009 after the Palm Beach case because those survivors were coming forward filing lawsuits, kind of like we saw in the 2019 Southern District of New York case. And Jeffrey Epstein was actually trying to fight this, but then I found out that Jeffrey Epstein actually sued this lawyer named Brad Edwards. Like I said, this was the lawyer that also represented Virginia Giuffre back in 2009 with her lawsuit with Epstein. And Epstein actually settled with Virginia Giuffre for $500,000 in this lawsuit, so it didn't go to court. And that settlement document from Virginia Giuffre settling with Jeffrey Epstein was released to the public in 2022. And in that document, it said it released Epstein and any other person or entity who could have been included as a potential defendant from liability. The agreement was meant to stop future litigation regarding abuse claims against Epstein and his associates. And because of that agreement, when she settled with Epstein in 2009, this is a big thing that Prince Andrew tried to use to throw out her lawsuit years later that she filed against him. But the judge rejected the attempt to dismiss the case because of that argument. Virginia Giuffre's lawyers argue that the agreement was irrelevant to her case against Andrew as he was not a party to the agreement and not a potential defendant in that specific Florida jurisdiction. So reading more about Brad Edwards and seeing that he was this huge attorney that represented so many of Epstein's survivors, something told me to look him up in the files. And I was finding really odd communications between him and Epstein himself, where Epstein always wanted to talk to him. And like in this email in 2015, he said, "Our deal?" to Brad Edwards, where Brad would say, "Talking to my guys this afternoon and trying to get in touch with the girls." And it really seemed like a lot of back and forth, like they'd agree to meet, agree to talk on the phone, and then there would be a couple snarky emails from Brad Edwards to Epstein like this. This one was titled "Confidential Settlement settlement discussions, and Brad said, "I expect a crispy new bill. Your personalized message can say whatever you would like, but it should include you win." Jeffrey Epstein kind of reporting like, "You need to look at the flight logs. These are all in Africa, not in Virginia." Brad saying Clinton was traveling on your plane at the same time you are paying for BR to travel to Thailand. So I assume that they are kind of arguing with one another about the Africa trip with Bill Clinton, Kevin Spacey, Chris Tucker. Like I said, it really goes back and forth like this for a few years. Like, can he call you? Can he call you? Can you meet me here? But everything kind of changed in November of 2018 after these back and forth conversations between these two for years. Mind you, during this time, he has represented many, up to 30 of Jeffrey Epstein's survivors, and he is also dealing with a lawsuit that Epstein filed against him during this time. And it seems like after this specific meetup, they finally come to a resolution. They agree to do a settlement, with Brad saying the only way he would do this settlement is if they agree on language. He said, "I cannot renegotiate the language at all. It's not right. As to timing, this also is a necessary term. The only possible reason why I would consider a delay is if you personally would make the apology. That does not seem like something you will do, and I understand why, but that would be meaningful and something I would consider. We have dealt fairly with one another, and we have reached this point. Your suggestion, while I appreciate your position and have taken everything you said into account, result in devaluing of the apology, even if you don't agree, and the devaluing is only happening in my mind. I am looking over the agreement Darren sent with his changes." And then boom, just 2 weeks after these meetings and these emails about the settlement, Jeffrey Epstein does settle with Brad Edwards. Mind you, he settles literally right before this is supposed to go to trial. And during this defamation lawsuit that Epstein filed against this lawyer, tons of women were going to come and testify against Epstein because Epstein sued Brad Edwards for trying to add his rich friends into being deposed in some of these women's lawsuits. Not about anything criminal, but about being around Epstein a lot, according to these survivors or victims. Some of these now women named Tommy Motolla as being someone who was around Jeffrey Epstein a lot back in 2009, because this is all stemming from the Palm Beach case. So with knowing that Brad Edwards represented so many of these victims, he also represented Virginia Giuffre, who settled with Epstein, who put in that clause that she couldn't go after him or people that were like his co-defendants in any more litigation. Brad Edwards settling with Epstein himself, them talking about other deals that they had, which I assume is probably with litigations with other of Epstein's survivors that maybe Brad represented, really makes me wonder why Epstein was telling Tommy Motolla after he named Brad Edwards that he was safe. Tommy Motolla really didn't seem so sure. He said, "Are you sure? I don't have to do anything. Just shut up and lay low." And it really makes me wonder. Now, this is not a fact. I don't know, but it is something that I want to know. I wonder if this is because maybe another one of these girls that they are talking about in this message did a settlement like Virginia Giuffre, where it says that they cannot go after anybody else. As we know, when Prince Andrew tried to use that clause against Virginia, that she couldn't go after any co-conspirators of Epstein because of that settlement that she did with Epstein, it didn't work because she tried to argue that it didn't happen in Florida, so you're not viewed as like a co-conspirator. And according to the Rolling Stone, I find it weird that they are reporting that this incident about this email was something that happened with Tommy Motolla at the Palm Beach Hotel and Spa, which would be in Florida. So to me, it does bring big questions if maybe he fell under somebody's clause in a settlement agreement, and this is why Epstein's saying, "Don't worry, you're safe," and bringing up Brad Edwards. Brad Edwards did say when he was dealing with all of these lawsuits against Epstein, and even the one that Epstein filed against him, that he was being watched and followed during this decade-long pursuit of Epstein. Edwards even hired his own private investigator to follow private investigators that Epstein had assigned to track Edwards. And this was the thing, because Epstein was doing this to the victims of the Palm Beach case. Haven't watched Filthy Rich on Netflix? I highly suggest you do, because there are videos and pictures of private investigators literally following these girls. Edwards even said that Epstein himself tried to intimidate him at Starbucks in Boca Raton and warned him, "If you keep prosecuting me this way, somebody's gonna get hurt." And he said this is one of the reasons why he ended up settling the lawsuit that Epstein brought against him. So this is a deeper dive into this whole situation going on with Tommy Motolla.
But I would never stop helping and loving people the way Jesus said to. He said, continue to love, always love. Bring on the children, imitate the children. Not childish, but childlike.